Today we will install locks on a Volkswagen Caddy. On the rear door we can place the lock at any height we want. The placement is optional. On the side door of this car, we must place the lock at the bottom of the door. As the post comes in from the inside up here and then rounds off down there, to achieve an invisible installation with the rivets on the inside, if desired, the lock can be placed higher up. But then you have to drill through a reinforced plate and it will be visible on the inside of the body. We start by cleaning the surfaces of the car. When we place the template on the rear door, we should move it 5 millimeters. On this side door, the drilling template must be positioned all the way at the bottom of the door, and the black line should pass over the door panel. We can place the drilling template higher up on the door if we want, but then the reinforced plate will need to be drilled and it will be visible from the inside of the car. However, if the drilling template is placed at the bottom, it won't be visible from the inside. On the rear door, we will mark the holes that should not be drilled for this model. We also specifically mark the holes that should not be drilled carefully on the side door for this particular model. When we are drilling on the rear door, we drill 2 millimeters inward from the door for the lock plate at all 4 markings. On the opening door, we always drill in the center. On the side door, we lower the final plate to compensate as the hinges starts to sag. In the center of the opening door, cut the template so that the doors can be opened. We start by pre-drilling all the holes with a smaller drill, 3-4 millimeter. Now we have switched to drill size 6.5, and we are drilling the 2 holes at the far end to 6.5 mm. Drill the 3rd hole from the top to 6.5 mm all the way through the entire post. Now we have switched to a 9 mm drill and will drill the middle hole on the opening rear door to 9 mm. The other 3 holes should be drilled up to 9 mm only in the outer plate. We drill the hole farthest to the left to 7.5 mm. Take out the drilling template for the emergency cable and stick it on the inside of the pole. The middle hole should land between the 2 holes that we have on the outer part of the car. Now we stick the drilling template so that the middle hole is positioned between the 2 holes we have already drilled to make it easier to thread the cable through. Center punch in the middle before drilling. Use a smaller drill and pre-drill the holes. Behind the outer plate, there will be a 2-strong plate. Drill through both. This looks good. Now on the side door, we will pre-drill with a smaller drill. We open the side door before we drill through so that we don't make marks on the pillar. Now we have switched to a 6.5 mm drill and we are drilling all 3 doors, on the opening side door through to 6.5. Drill. The 3 bottom holes to 9 mm. Now we have switched to a 7 mm drill bit and are drilling through the outer and the reinforced plate at all 3 holes to 7 mm. Be careful not to break through and leave an impression on the body's exterior. Now we will deburr, and you can use a countersink or a manual deburring tool. Inject cavity wax into all the holes in the body, except for the ones furthest out. Paint all surfaces with rust protection primer or a touch-up paint. Now we will secure the rivets to the end plate, and we will use 3 long split rivets for the 3 holes on the right rear door, which are 9 mm in size. We use the short rivet for fastening in the left rear door in the middle hole, which is 9.5 mm. For the first hole from the top, we use the short rivet that is knurled, and for the other 2 holes, we use the long split rivet. Replace the fitting with M5 and take out the small M5 rivet and secure it at the top and bottom. Take out the black rubber masks and stick them onto the carb. Take a thread locking compound that is weak or medium strength and apply a drop to the rivets. You must not use strong Loctite. Take out a thin, flat shim and 2 screws with rounded ball heads. Carefully secure these screws in the designated upper and lower holes located on the rear door. This ensures that the door is properly aligned and functions smoothly. Take a long screw and a 25 mm long screw with a countersunk head and secure the end plate. Take a shim and a screw with a ball head and secure it in the bottom hole. Take the wear plate, 2 screws that are 25 mm long with a countersunk head and secure them in the middle rivets. The reason we do not secure anything in the upper hole is that a rivet would not fit without damaging the car's pillar on the inside. So on this car's side door, we do not drill any hole up there, we do not place any rivet up there, and therefore we have no screw up there. Cut off the excess of the through screw on the rear door. Take the lock housing that has an emergency lever and place the lock in the pocket. Then, thread the emergency lever through the base plate and shims and thread it through the door. When you have passed the rivet through the bottom, plate, shims and door, use a screw that is 20 mm long with a countersunk head and secure it in the rivet. Do not tighten too much so that the lock can fit behind the plate. It is important to have some flex. Manually lock the lock bolt with your hand. Close the rear door. Keep the wolf in a tense position while we carefully press the right side of the lock to gently get behind it. Once you have done that, slowly pull the lock to the sides. Pull on the wire and check that everything works. Take out 2 screws with tooling in the head and small washers and secure the lock from the inside. Take out the red plastic button. There is a gold-colored nipple in it, and we need to loosen it. 7-8 full turns to the left to allow the emergency wire to pass through this. When we are going to thread the emergency wire through the plastic button, we manually lock the piston. Thread the wire through the back. Up and down through the gold-colored nipple. Now it is not an open blow, so you have to apply some force and push. If you are unable to get it through, you need to open the gold-colored nipple a few more turns. If it falls off, you should screw it back in 1 turn. When the wolf is through, you can pull the button forward, but you cannot pull it backward. If you have pulled it too far forward, you can reverse by pressing down the gold-colored nipple, thereby opening it and pulling it back. When the lock is in the locked position and you pull the plastic button to the edge of the post, it is perfectly adjusted. When the wire is properly adjusted, we tighten the gold-colored nipple in that position. Please be careful that the cord for the wire does not get pinched. Take out 2 screws that are M5 with a recessed screw head and secure the red plastic button. When we need to cut off the excess wire, you can easily push it out into the air to access it. Cut it all the way up. Take out a shim and a base plate for the side door. We start by cutting off the tab on the base plate since we do not have an emergency wire on this door. Now that we have cut the base plate, we take a screw that is 25mm long, a large washer, and low-profile nuts. Pass the screw through and meet up with a washer and a nut behind. Keep in mind that it is important to use a low-profile nut and also to tighten it just enough so that the screw aligns with the nut's locking mechanism and does not screw through. Take out the lock that does not have an emergency wire. Lock the piston manually with your hand. Place it next to the base plate. Press with your left hand and push so that it slides on, then pull sideways until it clicks into place. Take out 2 ball head screws and 2 small washers. Secure the lock from the inside with these 2 at the top and bottom. Test that everything works satisfactorily. Clean all surfaces with compressed air. Then oil the locks